Hello and welcome as always into my messy craft room where we are going to be creating a bit of a fancy fold card today, and I've called it a pop out flap card. It may have some other name, but that is what I am calling it. And let me just introduce myself. My name is Helen Jennings. How rude, didn't even tell you who I am. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. If I quickly flash this up, this is where you'll find my website, lovaduckie.co.uk, and over there you'll find um, blog posts with inspiration. You'll find links to classes here locally in Northamptonshire. You will find links to download tutorials, retired items, links to my shop if you want to buy some of the lovely things that I am using today. So all of those things can be found over there on my website. And if I can be of any help at all, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Some of the things that we are going to be using today are some of the celebration papers. So as this is going, as I'm recording this, we still have a couple of weeks of celebration 2025 to go. And as always with celebration, Stampin' Up's biggest promotion of the year, you can earn free things, whether you shop with us, whether you host an event or whether you in fact join the Stampin' Up family. And all of those things are well worth doing. We all love freebies, so why not come along and put in an order of £55 or more and grab yourself a freebie, host an event and get yourself some extra rewards, or indeed make the most of the fabulous joint offer that's on at the moment and get yourself some free stamping white markers, some of our beautiful water based ink pens that are there. So many things that you can do with those. So don't miss out on the opportunity of getting 2 packs of those for free with your starter kit, as well as a stamp set that you get for free with those as well. So don't miss out on any of that. But as I say, we're going to be playing with one of the paper packs. So let me bring in my downward facing camera and make sure I've got my instructions next to me with all the measurements and things on it. And I am going to start with a piece of early espresso cardstock, a nice dark brown shade that we have. And I'm going to cut this so that it is 10 centimetres wide that way. You put the other piece to one side. I'm going to open out my arm. This is what is so fabulous about our trimmer. Swing that round and I'm going to cut it so it is 26 centimetres long. I will make sure all of these measurements are on the blog post. So for now it is 10 centimetres by 26, and we're going to score it, and we're going to score it at 4, at 13 and at 22 centimetres. I will also endeavour to do some imperial equivalents for you when I do the blog post. So 4, and then move it along another 9 centimetres and make it 13. Move it along another 9 centimetres and make it 22. And then that will leave us with 4 centimetres on that end. So we've got 4, 9, 9, 4. So that's 4 centimetres, 13 centimetres, 22, and then through to the other side. So there we have our basic card base. It is going to be a 10 by 10 centimetre square, so it's going to be quite a small little card in terms of going into an envelope, but a big card in terms of impact. So we're going to want some paper, some of our patterned paper on the front there, and I have grabbed this beautiful fruit salad pack which has got lots and lots of really bright fruits on it, so bananas, lemons, oranges, apples, all sorts of things, orange, yeah, pineapples, You've got watermelon-y papers, kiwis, strawberries, pears, pomegranates, you name it. There's lots of lovely patterns on there, but I'm going to go, I think, to the other side, and I'm going to pick out some of the more generic patterns from the back here to go on our paper. I really like this pattern just here, so I think we'll have some of that. And to go with that, we'll have, what shall we have? We go red. Let's go red. So we need, I think we'll have, shall I go big and then little, or little and then big? Decisions. No, I think I'm going to have the big bit of red. So we need 2 bits out of here that are 9.5 centimetres by 3.5 centimetres. So I'm going to cut that at 9.5 by 7, wiggle that along to 3.5, and then I've got 2 bits there of 3.5 by 9.5. And then I want 2 bits that are 9.5 by 8.5. Now that does mean I'm going to need to bring in another piece of this paper. But there'll be lots of things I can use the rest of that paper for. Let's grab another piece of this and let's cut it at 9.5, and we'll cut another piece at 8.5. So these small pieces, they're 6 by 6 inches, which makes them 15.2 by 15.2 centimetres. So I'll grab my stamping seal. So obviously use whichever adhesive you prefer, whether that's the multi-purpose adhesive, the Tombow, whether that is tear and tape. I think adhesive is one of those things that is very personal. I tend to, most of the time, I have to say, use multi-purpose adhesive, but a change is as good as the rest. So let's just grab some stamping seal, and that will just make a quick job of popping that paper, this card base. There we are, we've got some paper on there. We're now going to make some little elements to put inside of here. Let me just grab those. I think what I am going to do actually before I do that, I think I'm going to put some DSP on the inside as well. I can do it afterwards, but it's going to be very fiddly, I think. So what I'm going to do is going to cut another 2 pieces that are 3.5 by 9.5 to go top and bottom. So part of this is going to be covered up by the mechanism that goes inside. That doesn't matter. And then I'm going to go, let's go a different colour. I think I want green. Might go with this orange. So this sort of orange matte sort of look effect on the back of here. On the other side, it almost looks like an enormous inside of an orange, but we just want some of this orange piece here. Let's cut these 2 sheets at the same time. So let's go 9.5 centimetres wide by 8.5. Just stop and think then. Didn't think what I was doing. There we go. And let's stick those on the inside. So these are really fun papers. Obviously, there's lots of elements in here that you can cut out. We may well be doing that as we come to decorate our card in a little bit. Let's put our orange in the inside. I'm loving actually that there's some really lovely bold colours around at the moment. They seem to be playing a lot. These lovely bold colours. And there we go. So we have got DSP all over. Now let me bring in this piece of card, and I'm going to actually need 6 pieces of card that are 7 by 7 square. So let's start with this piece, and we should get 4 out of here. So 7 by 7, I'm going to go 14, 14, and then let's cut that in half. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if I have an oddment. Thrown something down the back of my trolley. We'll dig that out later. Hopefully it won't be anything we need right now. That looks as if that might work, doesn't it? So let's cut that at 7. Let's go 14. And let's go 7. Right, we're now going to need to make our little mechanism bits, and we've got quite a few of these, so that's okay. We will, you'll get the hang of it by the time we've finished. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to score all 4 of them on all 4 edges, and then we are going to go just diagonally, just one way. So we don't need to go both ways, just one way. So this isn't going to show up very well on here, but we've got a diagonal there, and we've got a 1 centimetre score all the way around. Now what we're going to do is we are going to cut it in half, but not the way that the score is. We're going to cut it in half diagonally on the way that we haven't scored it. So we're going to score it diagonally one way and cut it diagonally the other, like that. And then we fold these score lines in like this and fold it. Oh, no, actually, I've missed a point. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to cut this corner off just here, like that. So we're going to cut that corner off to make that bottom flap. Then we're going to fold in the edges, fold it in half, like this, and cut off this excess bit, like that. And to just trim that slightly, I'm going to nick a bit out of there so it's not just flat on the bottom. We're taking a little bit off the edge as well, so we get a bit like this. And we're going to need to make 6 of these. So let me just carry on and score, 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 score it diagonally one way, cut it diagonally the other. I'll get all of them to this stage, and then actually I've gone very mad. I don't need as many pieces of this. I actually need 6 of these. I don't need 6 squares. 1, 2, so that will give me 4. Then we'll do another one We've got enough for another card there. So ignore that first piece. You don't need 6 squares. You need 3 squares. 3 squares cut in half to make your 6 different mechanism pieces. So we would have got all of that out of one piece of card. So last one of the squares, we're going to score diagonally, cut diagonally. Like that. And then we'll finish trimming off these bits. So for each of these, I'm going to trim off on this point, take a bit more off each side, fold in the score lines, fold in half, cut off the excess. Number 2, chop off the point, trim off a little bit more, fold in half, trim it off, cut off, trim a bit more off, fold in, fold in half, cut it off. Number 4, fold, fold, fold. Number 5, and last but not least, chop off the bottom. 1, 2, just take off another slither, fold and fold in, fold together, chop off sticky out bit. So right, we now have 6 pieces like this that are going to form our mechanism. Let's get them all the right way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, now we are going to come and we're going to stick them each so that they come in like this, so that where we've got that score line, it's going to come along this score line, stick flush with the outside edge. Like this, other way, tuck the sides in, fold it so you've got a triangle that's going like that. And we're just going to put adhesive on these flap bits. So we're going to put glue, glue, stick it like that so it's in line with that score line, and then we're going to get a poppy out bit that will fold up like this as that folds. I'm going to bring in my multi-purpose adhesive for this because it's quite a narrow piece that we're adding adhesive to, and I have, this is just Tombow multi-purpose adhesive, and I've just transferred it into this little bottle so that it's got a slightly narrower nozzle in. Let me turn this round. So I need the edge to come along the edge of the card and the score line to come along the score line. So like that. And then as that shuts up, this will shut up like that. And let's just put that back down and give it a moment to dry while we do the rest. So there's one. Let's fold in the flaps on our next bit. Oh, keep doing it upside down. So flat edge along the flat edge of the card, score along the score of the card, rub down. then fold up like that. You can see why I wanted to put the DSP down first. As I say, you could try and do it afterwards, but you would be trying to let's just trim that off a bit. You would be struggling to get the right shape and to get it so that it sits nicely and evenly with an even border. So far better to put it in. So we've got 3 this side, and then we're going to do 3 on the other side. Obviously, I've chosen to use these papers, but like all of these fancy fold type projects, you can use other papers, other stamp sets, other dies to decorate your cards. And every time you use a different set, you'll get a slightly different feel to your finished project. So score line along score line, flat edge along flat edge. And last but not least, it gives a lovely pattern on the inside of this card as well. Now I'm doing this as a card. You can also do these as sections on your scrapbook pages. So you could be adding sort of photos or journaling in here and stick it to your scrapbook page and open it up. In fact, I got the idea from a lady online called Shushti Patel, and she does these as scrapbooking elements as opposed to cards, but I thought it would also make a really cute card. So we've got this now that will fold in and fold up, and now we're going to do our pop out elements on the inside. So now we're going to need some more card. So our extra 7 centimeters won't go amiss, because I actually need 6 pieces that are, and I do need 6 pieces this time, that are 7 centimeters by 4.8. So I've got my 7 centimeter pieces. Let me just cut them to 4.8 wide. So 2. There's let's just find ourselves a little bit of round card. Let's try not to throw anything else down the back of my trolley. Looking in my, it's not necessarily scraps, but my, let's call them oddments, the bits that I've left over from cutting things out. Actually, let's cut this to 4.8 wide, and then cut it to 14, and then we'll cut it to 7. And that will give us 2 more pieces, 7.4.8. Now we need to put some mats on these as well. For 4 of them, we only need to put a mat on one side. For 2 of them, we need to put mats on both sides. So the mats will need to be 6.5 by 4.3 centimeters. Let's have some yellow. To cut Yeah, I'm going to cut one strip that is 4.3 for both of these pieces. And then we'll go 6.5 by 6.5. So I'm going to cut it at 13 and then 6.5. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. I'm going to pop one of those pieces to one side. Hopefully my maths is working right. So let's go 8.6 wide. We'll go 4.3 wide. Bit of ×2 going on there, and then we're going to cut it these 2 strips this way at 13, and then this way at 6.5. And that has given us 8 pieces to mat onto there. So let's mat these pieces. One. Two. 4. 5. 6, and then 2 of them need double-sided. I'm sticking with the yellow. I'll go 7. And 8. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some adhesive to here, and I'm going to stick this mat so that it's on the same angle. So the side of it is coming up the side of our triangle and the bottom is sitting there. And as we move that, it will come in and out. So bottom triangle, come on off. Bottom triangle here is where we're going to put adhesive. And then we're going to stick that in like that, so it is on the same angle as that triangle. And the same with all of the rest. Got slightly sticky fingers, so it's stuck to my finger. So far better to put your adhesive on your triangle rather than trying to guess where it's going to go on the back of your mat. Last 2. So these are your pop-out panels, which is why I named it a pop-out panel card. And last but not least, line with that triangle. needs just a second or two to really grab and stick. So those are going to fold in like that. Those are going to fold in like that. And go in. And then these two. Going to fold in. You're going to tuck in. And as you open it out, you get the pop out, and you can see that could possibly have put lots of DSP on the back of those ones as well. Tuck in. And as it opens out, they pop out, and these pop out. You've got all of your pop out elements there. And the more that you open and shut it, the more it will play. So now we've just got to decorate. Decide how we would like to decorate these panel pieces and the front of our card. So the front is going to be this bit just here. And it could be that you'd want some ribbon to go around there to keep it shut. In fact, that's not a bad idea. Thinking what colour ribbon I've got that would work with that. Whether we go for, I think, white. White might be an idea. Coming round here. We've got our nice new label punch just there. And there's a couple of stamp sets that go with that. One is let's find them. So one is this Hugs for Love stamp set, and then we have got another one that is going to be coming quite soon with an online exclusive. Let's have a look at this one first, because we could some foam tape there. We could do one of these sort of outside bits just there, and perhaps lots of hugs and kisses. I do like that one. And I think we'll do that in let's come in with some all the lovely bright zingy sort of citrusy colours. Finding which one to go with. I think I'm going to come in with a bit of pumpkin pie. I need to give that a squidge with my my pad. Let's find which one should we have? I think we have this outside piece. Just lay that down and then pick it up so that we're not sort of putting it out of shape. We're allowing it to sort of settle on the surface before we pick it up. I'm going to ink that up with some memento. stamp that. And scatter that with a bit of white embossing powder. Have a good flick. Put a bit extra on there. Then before I heat it, I'm going to take my Lots of Hugs and Kisses. Let's ink that up with some Versamark. Bring that inside. A good stamp down. Scatter some more white embossing powder on there. Ooh. The end of my kisses is missing. That won't do, will it? Can't have missing kisses. So there's that. Let me put the lid on here before anything dreadful happens to that. Let's heat up. I need to keep an eye on my phone because it's getting a bit low. Let's heat this up. There it goes. You can see it going from still quite dull white to a shinier white as it comes on round, heating section by section. No wafting and flapping. And then we'll just make sure that that inner section is all done and nice and shiny and bright. Just sort of tip it a little bit in the light just to make sure that it is shiny. And then let's put that in our punch the right way round. Lots of hugs and kisses. So let's have our ribbon coming round here. Give ourselves enough to tie a bow. Around in my adhesive basket and hopefully find some tear and tape. Now is not a good time for you to go into hiding, tear and tape. What I'll do is I'll take a little bit of just ordinary tape. Just hold that in place underneath there, and then this we will put on the top with some dimensionals. Making sure it's the right way round. Not a good start. Take the backs off these. These are the mini dimensionals. You could use big dimensionals as well. And snip that off, and then we'll be able to use that to tie a ribbon on the front. And let's have a little look. Let's bring in our little scissors. Let's have a look at some of the images on our paper that we can perhaps use to decorate. We have some apples here. We could have a little apple going on the front of here. Some strawberries. Cutting round some of those. Strawberries. That's what we got. We've got some oranges and lemons. So we'll just cut around those. There we go. There's an orange. There's a lemon rather. Let's do an orange. May need to trim these actually and make them so that they do come right round the edge rather than giving them a border. Got some kiwis. Go to that little pair of kiwis in there. I won't make you sit and watch me cut all of these out. We'll do a little bit of a laying them out and then you'll be able to see the finished project on my blog. Let's just see what else we've got. Some pineapple. There's a melon there. Some bananas. So lots and lots of things that we can cut out and I'm going to be able to pop on our pieces. Might have an orange and a lemon on some, perhaps some kiwis. That's a red and a green apple. Could have a pineapple somewhere inside. Do another sentiment inside. On the front there, we can have need to fold these bits in first. Leave that out, fold these bits in. Flap, flap. And then fold these bits in. Flap, flap. Lots of hugs and kisses. That's a couple of strawberries on the front there. And just build that up into a beautiful, fruity, fancy, flap out card. I'm going to go and sit and fussy cut lots of fruit and stick those in place. You're not going to necessarily want to watch me do that, so watch out for that finished card on my blog post. But that's how you make a pop out flap card, and I'd love to see what papers and projects you use to create yours. So check out that blog post to see my finished card filled with all its fruity goodness, and I look forward to catching up with you very soon.